Hey guys, so I have made this last minute stream. Don't know if anybody's actually going to join since I literally just made it this second, but I did want to react to Chelsea starting 11 and have a match preview video because it could be the last match preview video that I do for a while. I just have like a bad feeling. Sorry for the background. I'm in my childhood bedroom and I still have to find like a proper place to record these videos. The place that I like is like very open so everybody can hear me. But I do want to talk about Chelsea Everton. It's very weird that before the shutdown, Chelsea played Everton as well, and now we play them again. Hi, Anto. I must say, like, I don't know how you join all of my streams, but it is so impressive. So I haven't taken a look at the starting 11 just yet. I saw that it came out because I wanted to give you guys my absolute raw reaction to seeing the starting 11. As you guys know, there were a lot of four, I think, confirmed cases. Or like late yesterday, no new cases today. I don't know who the players are that have confirmed to be positive, but I guess we can maybe get some clues from the looks of the starting 11. So let's take a look. It led me to a link. Okay, here we go. Mendy, Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso, Ziyech, Pulisic, Mount. Okay, so we have a back three of Aspie, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger. That's not so surprising. Reece James at right wing back, Alonso at left wing back. Partnership of Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek in the middle of the pitch, and then Ziyech, Pulisic, and so like no striker. That's interesting. Let's see the subs. Aritha Balaga, Bettinelli, Chalobah, Christensen, Sarr, Conte, Saul, Barkley. So who's missing? I did stream. Sometimes I upload videos and but they're not live, so don't worry, it's not, you didn't miss them. I just upload them like that. Thank you guys, everybody, to joining. So Lukaku is missing. Callum is missing. Who else is missing? Who am I? Lukaku, Havertz is missing. So Lukaku, Callum, Havertz, Timo is missing. And I think that's it. Yeah. So Havertz, Timo, Lukaku, Callum. I think those might be our four players. Because, yeah, Chilwell was already out. Kovacic we already knew about. So I think that those are the four. So this is really interesting. What do you guys think about this starting 11? Do you think that it's something that we can, somewhere where we can get a result? Let me just look at the subs again. So who could potentially come? We have no attackers coming on. If we don't score, there's nobody that we can bring on to change the game. No, like not one attacking person. So that's a little bit worrisome. Like Barkley is really the only person that you could bring on to change the game. So I do like the looks of Ziyech and Pulisic together. I love Mason Mount, obviously. Mason has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 games. So hopefully he can continue to get something. Everton are without a ton of players as well. They have a slew of injuries. I think we probably have around the same amount of players out. They have 4 losses in their last 5 games. They did beat Arsenal 2-1 as a late winner in the last 10 minutes of the game. But given all of this, I do think that Chelsea should be winning this game. Like, our starting 11 is definitely good enough to beat Everton, I think, in my opinion. I think Mason Mount has been stepping up recently. He's looked really good. His finishing has gotten so good as well. Like, he's taking a lot of just like not even taking a touch and shooting the ball. So I've been really impressed with that. And Ziyech has looked better. Pulisic is the only one that I don't think has been so impressive. Ziyech has his moments. He's had some moments where he's done better, other moments where he hasn't played that well. But Pulisic, so far this season, I haven't really seen anything that has been super impressive to me. So I think that this is going to be a massive game to Pulisic, especially with all of the people out injured, out with illness. These three are really going to step it up because it seems that we don't have literally any other attacking options. Nipun is asking, will you be doing a post-match call-in show? The answer is probably. Reason being, I'm getting my booster shot at 3 my time, and the game starts at 2:45. So I'm kind of missing like the first half of it because there were like no times available, and so I just took what I could get. And so depending on how the game goes and how much action there is in the first half that I might have missed, I may or may not do a live call-in show afterwards. But I kind of want to, even if I miss like a little bit of the game, I'll try to have it on as much as possible. But yeah, so TBD. But I think I should be having a live call-in show if you guys would want to join that. And hopefully, like, I don't know, guys, the way that things are looking, like, it's not looking good. All of these Premier League teams are having loads and loads of players out, and a lot of games are getting canceled. I don't know if they're going to be able to continue at this rate or if they're going to postpone the league. I know Spurs have had like 3 games postponed at this point. It's a lot. Ento says their poor form is the reason they will try to get a win tonight. It's going to be a tough game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I mean, whenever teams are in poor form, I feel like they always want to show up against Chelsea and just like see, like try to get a result, because obviously getting a result against Chelsea is massive. And I feel that Everton are a team that we have like a low-key rivalry with. I remember that 5-3 win. That was like absolutely thrilling. I guess it's like so many years ago now, but it was so good. So I do think that they're going to bring it. And even though they have a lot of injuries, we have a lot of injuries. Like, it's kind of like equaling out with the amount of injuries that we have, because realistically, like, I don't know who you sub in this team. Like, Chalaba is just coming back. It's so great to see him back in the squad, by the way, that he's fit enough to at least be on the bench. And Conte as well. What a massive boost that's going to be for the team when N'Golo Conte is fit enough to play. But I don't see us really bringing on either of those players. I don't see Saul coming onto the pitch either. I really don't. So maybe the only 2 that I see potentially coming on are Christensen and Barkley, but the squad is just so scarce right now. It just really is. Steven says, I know we have a lot of injuries, but the midfield duo of J5 and Ruben isn't that solid. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think also Ruben is playing out of position because he's not used to playing in like more of a defensive holding role. I think he's more box to box, and he needs like that extra defensive layer of support. And I think that, he's a strong guy. You wouldn't want to go up against him, but I don't think that he's necessarily like the best person to place in that. But we literally don't have anybody else that can play in that role. So that's why he's playing there. And I hope that he puts in a good performance, because I haven't been so impressed with the performances that he's been putting in recently. Jorginho has literally been playing through injury in order to feature as well. Alan says the booster could help if we play badly. Like, yeah, maybe. I had like every side effect in the book after my first vaccine, so I'm dreading it, guys. I'm absolutely dreading it. If I'm like MIA, that is why. I'm supposed to do an FPL show with Olivia tomorrow, but depending on how I'm feeling, may not have that as well. Yes, Phantom of Many Topics is the lineup available. Just in case you don't know the lineup, guys, here it is again: Mendy, Aspie, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso, Ziyech, Pulisic, and Mount. So that is the starting 11 subs: Arita, Balaga, Bettinelli, Chalaba, Christensen, Sar, Conte, Saul, and Barkley. So really not so many options. Hello, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. It's like it's not like a Christmas sweater because it's not Christmas, like it's like a winter sweater, but I love the colors in it, so I appreciate it. I went on Premier League today and today and I'm in New York for the holidays, obviously, hence the background change. And they're like, "Can you hop on?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. What time is it at?" And they're like, "Yeah, like 10:30." So I was like, "Okay, wicked." Like 5:30 in the morning for me. So I've been up literally since 4 a.m. I haven't wanted to like miss it, so I've been waking up like every hour in the middle of the night, when you know you have something and you just like you don't want to miss it, so you're just constantly waking up. That was me, and I'm so exhausted right now, but um Joanna says, "Please no Barkley. He doesn't help the midfield defensively." Yeah, I the thing with Barkley that I've always said is that I just find him so inconsistent. Like he's very similar to Marcus Alonso in that sense that he can have like a moment of brilliance, and I'm thinking, wow, like how did he do that? That's incredible. Like nobody can really do that. And then he'll just have like other moments where he doesn't do much, and he's definitely not a defensive player at all, which is what we really need. I feel like the midfield has so been missing a defensive player, and teams are just able to kind of like go through our midfield, and they're able to really, I don't know, just with one or two passes take out the entire team. I feel like we're having a lot more one-on-one opportunities recently. I think that it's because we have larger gaps between our midfield and our attack and our defense, and also just because we're missing those defensive minded players in midfields. I agree, the attackers do need to step up tonight. I had a crazy stat. Let me see if I can find it. It was about the Chelsea scores this season by position. So defenders 14, midfielders 18, and forwards 5, which is crazy. Um so like our attackers really have not been scoring so many goals. I mean, 5 goals. That's crazy compared to the amount that our defenders and midfielders have been scoring. So yeah, I agree they do need to step up tonight. Newsflash as where are the goals coming from today with that lineup? That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, Mason has scored 3 games in a row. So I would be so surprised if he scores again in this game, but I low-key hope that he does. Reece James is capable of scoring as well. Mm, yeah, and maybe like Ziyech or Pulisic. Hopefully that Ziyech and Pulisic tend to combine well. I feel like they have a pretty good understanding with one another. So hopefully one of them combines and they can get a goal as well. But I'm feeling nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, Alan says hoping for Pulisic masterclass has been long due. How are you guys feeling with Pulisic? Because I just feel like it's been so long since we've seen really consistent form from him. But he's so young as well. Like we forget how young he is. He's just 22 years old, which is crazy when you think about it. I'm 27. I'm 5 years older than Pulisic, and look what he's doing. But I just wish that he were more consistent. I think obviously it's hard to find consistency when um you haven't been in the team. The other thing with Pulisic is that I I feel that he's played like very out of position under Tuchel. I really love seeing him on that left-hand side under Lampard, and I think that his best stint in Project Restart when he was getting a goal or assist like almost every game was coming from that left winger position. And now we rarely see him in that position. We see him either on the right, or today I think we're going to see him implemented as like a false nine. So I don't think that that necessarily helps Christian Pulisic's case. I mean, he is a super versatile player, um, but I don't know. I think that there's been a combination of things, but I really hope that he has a good game. Oh, Premier League just confirmed more games are about to be canceled. Let's see which ones are. I haven't seen it. Yes. Thanks, Nick. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate it. Yes, guys. I am so tired right now. My head is pounding. Hopefully, it doesn't come across too much in the stream. But I've just been out for ages already, so I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep well. So if you guys like this video, that would mean a lot. Ace is asking for a match prediction. I honestly, I'm gonna go for 2-1. I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. Fun fact: we haven't kept a clean sheet since Ben Chilwell got injured, so it's not looking good for the clean sheets. Um, John says Alonso can score too. That is true, and I have like kept Alonso in my fantasy team because I've just had other issues that I've needed to solve, and he has not gotten. I think the best he did was last week. He got 4 points. So I really hope that he does better. I deserve it for holding on to him so well. Yeah, I hope Mount scores. I just brought him into my fantasy team too. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. I hope I didn't like what's the word? Jinx him, but I did bring Mount into my fantasy team. I don't usually do watch alongs. I don't know if you guys are interested in it, I can like try to do one day. Maybe like in the US it's easier because I'm watching it live and not stream, but usually I just watch the match on my laptop and I use my laptop to stream these videos as well. So it'd be like kind of hard for me to be able to do a watch along, and I just feel that there's like so many people that already do watch alongs that like nobody would tune in. Well, maybe I can try it for something like for something small. I don't know. Yeah, I think Timo, Callum, Havertz. I think those are the four that haven't been included in the team. And I think Callum and Havertz would have had it twice, which is so unfortunate. Steven says, who else thinks that front three of Ziyech, Lukaku, and Pulisic would be ideal? Um, I like Cho, but I don't think he's very good in front of goal. The thing with like Lukaku is I literally could not tell you how to get the best out of him. Well, I think that we need to open up more space, and we press a lot. That's not necessarily his game. He can play with his back to goal, but the problem with Lukaku is every time he um plays, he always has like three players around him to try to negate his threat. So we haven't figured out how to play with Lukaku yet, and I don't know the players that we should play to get the best out of Lukaku. I think Mason could be a good option because he has like that eye for like a progressive pass. He's always like getting his head up. Kovacic showed more of that when he was playing, and he had like a ridiculous number of assists before he got injured. So I don't know who would be good. I do agree like Callum needs to improve in front of goal. That's been the one thing that I think that he needs to like really improve on is like getting his head up, making the right choices. I think that he often doesn't make the right choice and it could end up being costly, but obviously he's still young, he's still learning, but I think like that's the part that he needs to improve the most. Sidar says, I don't recognize half of Everton's squad today. No, I don't recognize any of those players. Maybe Brandt with rings a slight bell, but I honestly don't recognize. I mean, we should be winning this game. Considering this, we should definitely be winning it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that we win too. I really, really hope. Bad says there's no point playing fantasy with all these postponements. There's no fun right now. Yeah, luckily, like for me, I don't know how. I really haven't had any players from teams that got postponed. Like I haven't had any Brighton players, no Leicester players, no United players, no Spurs players. My fantasy team is like pretty heavy on Liverpool, Chelsea. Try to think who else I have. I have Watford. Like obviously I have like some players out, but not so many. But I agree, it's so hard. There's like really no point playing. I mean, eventually there will be double fixtures and we'll be able to make it up. But Alan says, "What do you think of January backup transfers, considering the injuries and now the COVID situation?" Yeah, definitely needed. The good news is that if you guys haven't heard, Ben Chilwell is supposed to be back early to mid January, which is a lot earlier than I thought. I mean, I think they still need to evaluate whether or not he needs surgery, but I'm very hopeful that he won't need surgery. But of course, even then, it's going to take a while to get him back up to match fitness again. So we definitely do need to get somebody in. I think that that is like the most priority position. We can't recall Gallagher or Gilmore from their loans, unfortunately. Well, I wouldn't recall Gallagher anyway because you don't want to disrupt that, but they've played too many minutes for the club, so we can't recall them. And the midfield crisis has been like a little crazy, but I think we're hopefully going to have a boost in midfield soon. But I would definitely look into getting like a left back, left wing back into the team. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm thinking of with Chelsea right now, and I know it's like so difficult, is that we are playing through a really rough time where like like many other clubs, we're missing many players, but we have been missing players for weeks and weeks and weeks. They are key players. Any team that has like their whole midfield starting 11 midfield players out is going to struggle. We saw that with Liverpool last season with their defensive issues. So it's not like the same Chelsea, and we just need to get through it because we can be like one of the best teams in the world when all of our first team players are fit. But we've just been plagued by injuries, unfortunately, and illness. Who else thinks that Ross Barkley is going to score off of the bench? I literally cannot speak right now. Anto's asking if I'm sick. Like, I just feel a little congested, I think, because I haven't slept. It's like been really cold in my parents' house, and I'm freaking out about my booster because I felt really, really bad. After I got the first one. And so I just don't feel like having flu like symptoms, but I must get it. So, yeah, getting it happily, but I'm just dreading the side effects. Sidar says there's a big push to suspend the Premier League for a week. Brentford United, yeah, Brentford have like 13 players out. It's absolutely crazy. Brentford United, Leicester don't have squads. Chelsea, Liverpool, Brighton, Tottenham have an increasing number of players missing. What's your opinion on this? I personally think that they're going to try to do everything that they can in order to not suspend football again, especially because the fixtures are so heavy, and I think they're going to have a hard time fitting them in. That being said, they probably, like with the amount of cases there have been, it's probably better to suspend it, and take the player's health into consideration, just try to get things under control. Whether or not they're actually going to do that, I don't know. Like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it got suspended, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it didn't get suspended, if that makes sense. James says missing players in the attack would be positive for us to get the missing chemistry. Yeah, one of the things I've been saying is that like it must be so difficult to have chemistry when you have like so many, you're constantly playing with different attackers. And so I think that that must be really difficult to do. And maybe if we just have the same front three, because that's what it's going to need to be, if we continue having games, maybe they can get some chemistry together and start scoring some goals. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's what I'm here for. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, Katie, hopefully this is our turning point from this current spell of form. It's just been like a frustrating time being a Chelsea fan. I totally get that. It's always like, you know, difficult December period for some reason. It's like so many fixtures and it's the holidays and you just want Chelsea to be winning and it's like scoring goals and winning convincingly and having like a Merry Christmas and for some reason we already struggle. Knicks has 5 games already off for the weekend. Yeah. That's crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's surely going to get suspended at some point. But I don't know. That's that's absolutely crazy. It's spreading mad. Uh Putin says Saul doesn't seem to fit any role. What do you say? I think like it's just hard for any player to really like get used to the pace and the physicality of the Premier League, even more so when you're not playing week in and week out. And I think that for Saul, having gone from playing in a very different type of league in La Liga, where you have a lot more time and space on the ball, it's a massive adjustment. And you take that and add on to the fact that he's been playing out of position for the past couple of years and he's trying to get back into the midfield. Just think it's difficult. I don't see him playing at left wing back. I didn't feel that he had like the pace or the physicality to play in that position. And personally, I don't really see him playing in the midfield either. Maybe if we have like a cup game, he could play there. But I just don't think that he's unfortunately what Chelsea are looking for at this current moment in time. And yeah. Honest opinion on Tuchel's future at Chelsea. I hope that he stays. I love Thomas Tuchel and I think he's a brilliant tactician. I think that Chelsea have been changing managers so often. And if anybody can bring us long-term success, it's going to be Thomas Tuchel. I just love how he thinks. I think he knows his players' strengths and weaknesses so incredibly well. And he's very personable. He speaks to the media well. I just really like him as a manager. Mr. Fluffy says, "Do you think we'll go for Haaland because Lukaku won't be able to do the job himself?" I would honestly be surprised if we go for Haaland, even though he has the release clause and he's going to be like 60 or 70 million now. I mean, after you just spent like so much money on Timo, on Havertz, on Lukaku to solve like the attacking worries, I would honestly be surprised. I think City are going in for him, Real Madrid, maybe Barcelona, I'm not sure, given their financial situation. But I would honestly be surprised if Chelsea go in for Haaland at this point. I think it was Haaland or Lukaku, but not both. Hi, thanks so much. Yeah, I spoke about this a little bit earlier in the stream. Uh, long long story short, or to give a short answer, yeah, I think we should go in for a left wing back. Um, Yeah, my score prediction is 2-1 to Chelsea. I'm terrible at predicting scores, you guys. Like I don't think I've gotten like one right the entire season. Like it's really a dire situation for me. But guys, I have to get ready to go to my booster. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked it. If you did like it, please drop this video a like. Sub to my channel, guys. Sub. And I will hopefully be back for a post-match show and a live call-in. So keep your eyes out for that. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm out.